Hello, how are we all doing? Welcome back to Premier League Dad. My name is Key. We are live for a huge Europa League Final. Freiburg against Aston Villa at the it's Beşiktaş Stadium, isn't it? It's Istanbul, Beşiktaş Park in Istanbul. Aston Villa in a European final again. First possible trophy for them in 30 years. First European trophy since 1982. I believe it would have been. But a long time. Many generations of Aston Villa fans haven't seen Aston Villa go this far in Europe for a long time. For Freiburg, it's quite different. 121 years they have been operating as a football club. Not a single trophy. Yes, that's right. Not a single top-flight honour for Freiburg in their entire history. A win tonight, and all of those players become instant legends in that part of the world. I mean, let's be honest, it's probably the same for Villa. But they'll be lauded over as legends. And it's a huge moment for both clubs. Massive moment. I want to get your thoughts on it. I want to get your take on it. We'll be chatting through the game. It's obviously 25 minutes to kick off, so we'll go through the lineup shortly. But I also want to talk about a fair few other stuff that's going on in football at the minute. Southampton, Middlesbrough, Hull, playoffs, all that sort of stuff coming up this weekend. Hull are appealing, saying that they're not having time to prepare properly because they don't know whether they're going to be playing Southampton or they're going to be playing Hull, Middlesbrough rather. There's all this sort of stuff going on. Southampton, they thought they were in the playoff final. Apparently all their players are now appealing to the union and saying that it's absolutely wrong that they've been taken out of the playoff final. All that stuff going on. I think something else happened in football last night. We don't need to talk about it though, do we? I think something else was announced last night, but I think it's best we just don't talk about that. Should we just move on from that? Let me just move on from what happened last night. But yeah, hey, there you go. Let's talk about footy. That's what it's about. How are we all doing anyway? How's all the people in the chat? Lovely to see everyone. Great to see everyone. Finners Matty, Jay Cartman, Jellyfish, Adam Timmins, Red Rebellion. Who else have we got in tonight? Julius. Lovely to see Julius in. I bet you're nervous, Julius, about this weekend. Julius is a Tottenham fan and comes in regularly. Lovely fella, but he's very much, I think he's a little bit concerned about this weekend now. Jay Cartman, how's it going? Who else are we missing? Sorry. Gunners Villains. Manzambi is class. Hope Villa go after him after this summer. Yeah, Manzambi's a very talented player. Grifo as well. Matanovic. They've got some good players. Edgerstein as well. Matthias Ginter at the back. Atabolu. Noah Atabolu in goal is a goalkeeper a lot of clubs have been keeping an eye on for a long time. Wouldn't be surprised at all if we saw a club. I think United were linked with him before Lamans. Noah Atabolu, so might be one to keep an eye out for. I think Liverpool have been linked with him as a possible Alisson replacement. So we'll have to see. Who else have we got in? Twisted Fate, great to see you, mate. How's it going? Lil Philly, who else are we missing? Shell, great to see you. Normal guy, lot to love across the pond. Anthony Day, how are you, Key? I am very good, sir. I am very good. Feeling very good. Nigel, smash the like button, viewers. Yes, please do smash the like button. If you can also do me a favour in the build-up to the channel while you're all here now, can you please head over to the new channel? It's not the new channel, it's the second channel, I guess, because this channel's not going anywhere necessarily. If you guys are on TikTok and you're watching, nothing's changing really over there, but if you can do me a favour and head over to the Matchday Tavern on YouTube. Search the Matchday Tavern on YouTube. I need you to go and subscribe to that for me. Thank you very much, Matty. Are you starting on there tomorrow? I'm not starting on there tomorrow because Thursday and Friday there's really no games this week. I'm literally like scratching around for games, and honestly, there's not really any games going on. There's St Mirren and Partick Thistle in the Scottish playoff first leg. But it's not brilliant. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it till the playoff final on Saturday. I'm going to do the playoff final on Saturday, start it with that one, and we're going to be over there. So yeah, the new channel will be launching on Saturday. So get yourself over there and get subscribing if you want to If you want to be a part of the regular watch days and match days and all that good stuff, all the watch-alongs we do. Cheers, Graham. Mr. Amsden says Villa for the win, hopefully. Here, I'll put the link in. I'll put the link in and I'll pin it. Let me see if I can get hold of it. Hang on. How do I find the link? Share channel, copy. That'll do us. Right. There you go. We'll pin that. Go and follow that one, please. The pin, it's in the pinned comment. If you can go and follow it. Cheers, Ethan. Thanks, Gooners Villains. Appreciate it. Matchday Tavern, what a name. I thought it was something a little bit more in keeping with what we do here, which is, it's a bit more of a pub vibe, isn't it? It's a bit more of a, it's not a boozer. It's not a boozer, but it's a bit more welcoming. It's a bit more of a, all of us getting together, watching a bit of footy together. We do a quiz at half time. We have a chat. We talk footy, and it's all different types of people. So yeah, the Matchday Tavern. Key Thomas and the Matchday Tavern. It's gonna be over there from going forward. Brian, as a Spurs supporter, sad we won't be holders soon, but sending best of luck to Villa and hope you enjoy the feeling of winning it like I did last season. How are you feeling about this weekend, Brian, as a Spurs fan? Chat shit, watch footy, perfection, that's it. Bluey Games, good to see you. Maximus, Sarah, is he going to show the match? Maximus, I can't show the match, mate. I'd love to. Believe me, nothing would give me greater pleasure than to show the match. But I can't do it. If I do it, the channel gets banned immediately. So I'd love to. But I can't. I really can't. Cheers, Sonny. Cheers, Stacey. Thank you very much. Right. Let's have a look at the lineups then. Let's have a little look at the lineups. Key on Friday is Lens v Nice in the Coupe de France. Oh, yeah, we could do that, couldn't we? I guess we could do that. Could do the French Cup final, possibly. Mercury says, got a mate that was part of Villa Youth, hoping he gets the result he wants. Maximus, how can we watch it? You can watch it over on TNT. I don't know what part of the world you're in, mate, but we are watching it. I'm watching it in the UK on TNT Sports 1. And that's the only place that I am aware of it being shown here in the UK. I guess in other parts of the world it might be on other channels. Cheers, Anfield Vortex. Thanks very much, mate. What are we saying? Sunderland match. All right, Key, mate. Prediction for Sunderland v Chelsea. I'd love Sunderland to get a win in that one. I actually think you might get a good chance to get Europe, won't you? Maximus, how much is it to pay in pounds? I honestly don't know. Oh, sorry, Matty. Yeah, I need to activate. I need to activate the chat. There you go. Chat's back again. Chat is back. Jay Cartman, first year in almost 10 years, it's not free to watch on YouTube. Warner Brothers Discovery decided against making it free to air. It's very sad. Very, very sad, that, isn't it? Yeah, really, really sad that that they've not... And it's the same with the Champions League final and with the Conference League final as well. So they're really letting the fans down, aren't they? Cheers, Red Rebellion. Thanks, man. I just needed to do something to activate it, so I thought I'd do a quick short on it. Prediction for Borough Hull on Saturday. That's assuming that Borough are going to be there. It's still an appeal going on. Timbo, how's it going, mate? Make sure, Timbo, if you go away for a couple of days and you come back, you won't see any activity on this account for a while. You need to go and follow the new place, Matchday Tavern, over on YouTube. Schmoopube. Mr. Poultus, English teams in all European finals. Well played. Decision should be tonight, though, for the appeal. Is it really? Oh, I thought it was a little bit... I thought it was a little bit later than that. But then again, they've got the game on Saturday, so they've not got much time, have they? Ethan, what's the new channel called? It's the Matchday Tavern. The Matchday Tavern, if you go and search it on YT, you'll find it. Jesus Christ. Wyatt, please, dear God, tell me if your number on the end of your username is 97. Sweet Lord, tell me you're not 29 and spamming a chat on bloody TikTok. Come on, mate. Maximus says, well, thank you for your help. Nice to meet you, and thank you for your help. We'll give you a little sub, because why not? You're a sound guy. Cheers, Maximus. You're a lovely fella as well. I'm your 25th victim. Have you seen Hull are getting lawyers involved? Yeah, they're all getting lawyers. All the lawyers are involved. Wyatt's still crying. I'm not crying, mate. No, it's not. I'd love it if you didn't spam. If you spam, then it's just dead. I don't want to mute and block people. It's just a pain in the ass. I'd just rather you be sound and you can say whatever you want. Like, you can have a pop at me. I don't mind. It's all good. Say whatever you want. Just, you know, don't be a dick. Just don't be a bellwith. There's a lot of people in the chat. Your comment's no more important than anyone else's, right? Gav, stop being a hater then. Why is it a hater? It's not a hater. It's not a hater. It's only a hater, Gav, if you're a 14-year-old girl and you're that dramatic. Dan, how's it going? Lost in Yosemite, woke up, Arsenal are Premier League champions, I'm still handsome, praise God. Yes, mate, love that. Love that. Mr. Porter says, what will happen if the leagues doesn't overturn the decision against Southampton is that they will sue the league and get dragged out for years. Timbo, you've probably said a million times, but what is your new channel about, sir? It's this. All future watch-alongs are going to be, well, I say all, certainly for the time being, certainly for the World Cup and, like, this weekend. This weekend beyond the World Cup will be over on the Matchday Tavern. So if you want to watch along, if you're enjoying this sort of stuff and you like it, if you want to see any of my stuff over the next 3 months, then you need to be over there. That's where it's going to be. There's not going to be any activity at all on Premier League Dad for the next few months, basically, while the World Cup's going on. So if you want to see any stuff, it's going to be over on the Matchday Tavern. Hey Jess, be honest, are you in some way happy for Arsenal? I mean, I'm happy for the Arsenal fans, like the good Arsenal fans, the nice Arsenal fans who come in the chat all the time, and yeah, we've got lots of great Arsenal fans in the chat. So I'm happy for them. Yeah, of course I am. Who have you got winning today, says Mr. Poulters. I think it's going to be a Villa win, but I think Freiburg will make them work for it, you know. City of Northville, it kind of will be permanent, right? Because when you don't broadcast on this one for a long rhythm, the algorithm will punish you for... Well, maybe. You never know. Sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes it's one of them where you need kind of a... I've seen it shown where it's like a 2-3 month break and it sometimes reinvigorates it. Chances are, though, mate, honestly, with the World Cup and if this new one takes off, chances are we'll probably have caught up to this channel just after the World Cup. So I'm not worried about it. We've got a great bunch of people here. Many of you will come over. I'm sure a lot of others will come over as well. Hopefully we get everyone across that wants to. I'm going to be posting regularly on Premier League Dad just to remind people. But yeah, we're all going to be over there from now on. Harry Key, you say Arsenal spent $1 billion, whatever, yet Slot spent 500 million this summer alone. Do we have to do this? He didn't, mate. Have a look. Google's free. Gooners, thoughts on the World Cup 2030 being in so many different countries? How many countries are we talking about in 2030? I thought 2030 was Spain, Portugal, Morocco. Isn't it Spain, Portugal, Morocco? Which is basically the same as Mexico, Canada, USA, right? Artem, you're actually a great footy creator coming from an Arsenal fan. Cheers, Artem. Harry, 450 mil. No, mate, no, I'm talking $1 billion net. Arsenal spent $1 billion net over 7 years. Liverpool spent about 500 and 30-something million net over that same period of time. Timbo, at least the World Cup will distract us from the dark day of Arsenal winning the league for a bit. We'll enjoy it. Listen, the World Cup's going to be great fun. It's all good. Thoughts on Liverpool potentially signing Magnus Akliouche from Monaco? Not a fan of it, mate, I'll be honest. I don't mind him. He's a good young player, but I'm not made up with it. I'm really not made up with it. I think we could get better, and we should be targeting better. Reese says 4-2. Scouser, good evening, Mr. Admin. Hope you're well. Net is for accountants. Both clubs have acquired enormous amounts of talent. Well, I disagree. I think net is very important because you can't spend that sort of money unless you sell that sort of money at Liverpool anyway. SDO, who do you think gets relegated out of Spurs and West Ham? I would say it's going to be West Ham at this point. Yeah, I really can't see Spurs getting relegated. I think Everton can't go there and win, can they? Can they? Do you think? We'll be live for it on Sunday, but I don't see it. I really don't see it. Timbo, I'll tell you what though, if Arsenal win that Champions League, we're finished. The last thing we have left is being the only team in London with the European Cup. That's from a Chelsea fan, by the way. Timbo, big Chelsea fan. Look at the state of this light show. People throw that at me. Oh, Key, why don't you go to the games anymore? Look at the state of this. I'd hit the deck. Harry, Arsenal's highest sell is still the Ox, I believe. Well, that's it, yeah. That's it. Richard, why on earth would you want City to win? What was that? Why on earth would you want City to win over Arsenal as a Liverpool supporter? Because City play better football than Arsenal. That's all it is, yeah. Amazing. Klopp, same titles as Arteta. A little embarrassing. Not really. Not really. I think if you asked any football fan, literally any football fan at all, who's the better manager, I think you would get close to 100% say Jurgen Klopp. So I don't think there's any doubt at all about that. I'm Mancini, to be fair, they spent nothing under Wenger, so about time Arsenal put some money into the club. That's also true. I mean, they spent a fair bit under Wenger, but Wenger played better football, had them competing for titles, had them winning things, anything, had them winning FA Cups. Was always competitive under Arsene Wenger, but they were kind of restricted, weren't they, because of the sort of the stadium build and all that stuff. Johnny, will you make a prediction video for the final day of the Prem? Yes, I absolutely will do, yes. Richard Tattersall, can you put some respect on winning the league in a different way? Such as what? Ian, the City Liverpool had to beat compared to the City Arsenal had to beat is night and day. That's very true. Liam Key, I hate to see this side of this, but Manchester United are now the only longest team to not have won the Premier League in this era. Eh? You might have to try that one again, Liam. It's not Great England. Yeah, I have no idea what you mean. Man United are now the only longest team to not have won the Premier League in this era. I have no idea. You've lost me. You've lost me. William, admit it's the best title win ever as it's the hardest one. Why is it the hardest one? It's only the hardest one because Arsenal have won it. Even though I think everyone would acknowledge Liverpool felt a bit, City felt a bit, Pep's leaving. Arsenal basically got like a chauffeur to the league title this year, and they still managed to throw it away. Nearly managed anyway. Timbo, Liverpool team did also cost nearly £1 billion, I'm pretty sure, but it was just spent over a longer time. Nah, Liverpool acquired players for a lot less, and had to spend based on making a lot of good sales as well. Richard, playing with a solid defence, winning games 1-0, finding edge in other areas like set pieces. Richard, I genuinely think you're making an assumption on something that I've said that I've not. I think you've maybe drawn the conclusion that I've said something that I've not. I've maintained all along they deserve to win the league. Best team I didn't say best, I said most efficient, and they are. The most efficient team in the league. Deserve to win it. Never doubted that. I really don't know what you're asking for, I guess. I've said for a long time Arsenal are probably the most effective team in Europe. They're just boring. They're just really, really boring. And that's it. I don't know what more praise you want. I really have no idea what more praise you want. It seems like you're asking for a lot of validation and praise. It's a little bit beggy. Mercury, really the resurgence didn't happen until the Kroenke ownership stopped being absentee owners. And Mr. Poultus, I don't think Arsenal were worthy winners this season. They got off with a lot of fouls and dives where they scored goals which should have been ruled out by VAR. Well, I mean, you know what? Listen, I'm of the opinion that over a 38-game season, the best team always wins. Have Arsenal been lucky? Yeah, I think they probably have. I think they have been a bit lucky. They've been lucky in a lot of ways. They've been lucky in the sense that they've sort of rose to prominence at the same time that that City and Liverpool have fell off. But you could also say, listen, you can only beat who's in front of you. And they can only beat who's in front of them. They're going to win the league with probably one of the lowest points totals of any team ever to win the Prem. That doesn't change the fact that they are Premier League winners. They did deserve to win it this year. There's no doubt about that. Bluey, notice how every Arsenal fan is comparing their players to Bruno right after they won the title. Extremely obsessive behaviour, even though we know Bruno is winning the Player of the Season and Player of the Year. No chance. No chance. Stephen, I used to be a Villa fan, but I grew out of it. Oh, it's not going to turn into a Villa hate watch, is it? I really like Villa. I have no problem with Villa. Right, quick reminder. We are 2 minutes to kick off. I'm going to remind you one more time before kick off. If you haven't already, the Matchday Tavern is where all new Premier League Dad streams are going to be over the next few months. For the rest of this week, beyond going into the World Cup, and kind of up to the end of the World Cup and sort of at least to the end of July, it's going to be over there. All of our live streams, all of my stuff content-wise, is going to be over there. Premier League Dad is going to be a little bit dormant for a while. So, 23,000 subscribers. I need to try and migrate as many of you across as you want to come across anyway. So yeah, if you want to check that out, please go and do so. You can see the link in the pinned comment. The pinned comment in the chat. Or you can just search the Matchday Tavern. Darren O'Rourke, you're only Liverpool now, pal. Liverpool not near good enough. Why can't you give Arsenal credit? Fucking hell. Why are they so beggy, these Arsenal fans? Oh, please like us. Please tell us we're great. Goodness me, they're very beggy. Very beggy. Freiburg are in their red kit. I thought they'd be in the stripy white and red one. Where's the red for the Champions key? It was red last night, mate. Come on. Look at Prince William there. Prince William giving it the... Go on. Roger McCalman says, why do you think Bruno not player of the season? I don't think he deserves it, mate. I think I'd give it to Gabriel or Declan Rice or Semenyo. I think those would be the players I would give it to before Bruno. I just don't understand what Bruno's done to really deserve it. What's Bruno done to deserve it? Gary, come on, Villa. Very close to kick-off. Villa in the whites. Freiburg in the red. And we're at the Beşiktaş Stadium. Unai Emery looking to win it for the 5th time. He won it 3 times with Sevilla. 1 time with Villarreal against Manchester United. One of those times for Sevilla was against Liverpool as well. And now he's looking to win it with another Villa. Aston Villa. Not Sevilla or Villarreal. Aston Villa. A record. It's already a record 4 times. No other manager's won it 4 times. But he's about to extend that record to 5th if they're not careful. But in their way is Julian Schuster. Julian Schuster's Freiburg, who are currently 7th in... Well, I say currently, the Bundesliga's over, right? They finished 7th in the Bundesliga. And they'll be hoping that they can get a win here to get into the Champions League. But mainly, I mean, the Champions League is a big thing, and a Champions League place is fantastic for Freiburg. But the main thing's got to be 121 years, not a single trophy. Freiburg fans starting to learn what it feels like to be an Arsenal fan. Barren runs, 121 years, no trophy. So, yeah. They are very close, tantalisingly close to their first trophy. Timbo, if you're... Oh, what was I saying? Sorry. Hang on, I've missed a few things there. Gamer Guru, I'd give player of the season to Raya. Watching our highlights, he saved us well over 15 points on his own. Oh, Freiburg again here. Manzambi. That's a foul, ref, is it? No, good tackle. Excellent play from Villa. Long ball forward. Here's Watkins. Villa have got a chance here. Strike. Oh, big save. Excellent save from Atubolu. And it's nearly 1-0 Villa. Fast start. Roger, so why have the awards? Get rid of them. Get rid of who? Timbo, if you're Xabi Alonso key, would you rather we scraped Europa Conference or weren't in Europe at all? If I was Xabi Alonso, I would rather you not be in Europe at all. I actually think Alonso does well next year, and everyone will be like going, oh my God, what a great first year for Xabi Alonso. But actually, it'll kind of be a little bit like the Michael Carrick thing. Oh, Villa are in. Big chance. Watkins. Oh, he scuffed it. Was he offside? Oh, that was a massive chance. A huge chance. It's a huge moment for Villa, but he's offside. Yeah, I think Xabi Alonso next year will do really well with Chelsea, but I'll caveat that by saying I think it'll be kind of hidden a little bit in the fact that they play 40 games rather than 55, 60 if they're in the Champions League. Bluey, I agree with you on the Beggy thing. 80% of Arsenal fans want validation from other fan bases instead of just celebrating. They want a comparison with other clubs. Shahid says key is the new channel at the bottom of the screen. It's also pinned, mate. Yeah, you can search it by searching the Matchday Tavern. You'll find it quite quickly, or you can click the link, which is in the pinned comment in the chat. Sarah says, Key, why is it blue behind you? It should be white for Villa. Go on, we'll change it. We'll change it. That's green. We don't want green, do we? Hang on. Not yellow. That's light blue. No, not purple. There you go. That's white. I guess that's... There you go. We're kind of showing a little bit of support for Villa there now. Rob, why the new channel? Channels. Not new channels, just new channel. Just single. Yeah, single new channel. The only reason we're doing a new channel, mate, is just for the World Cup. So, yeah, it's just for the World Cup to make sure we've got everything over there. It's just to give us a different place to do that. Vinny says Chelsea could still make Europa, mate, so not 40 games. No, that's what I'm saying. The question was, would I prefer, if I was Xabi Alonso and I was Chelsea manager next year, would I prefer Europa or Europa Conference or no European football at all? And my answer was Europa. Was no European football at all, sorry. Timbo says, not seen you since Salah's latest comments. Thoughts on them? Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful from Mohamed Salah. Jamie Carragher called it absolutely right for the change. I don't generally agree with a lot of what Carragher says, but he was bang on the money with that one. And it's not just Carragher. A load of other Liverpool fans, ex-players, have called him out. I think he's... I think he's really let the club down. Legend FK Key, will you be watching every single World Cup match? I will indeed, mate, yes. I will. Every single World Cup match. Oh, cheers for the super chat. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, Thomas. Thomas Andrew, thank you very much for the super chat, mate. I would put it up here, but you didn't say anything in the super chat. City of North Hill, he will need Europa because the ownership will still whine if he doesn't play some of the young to up their value for the resale dramas. yeah, we are watching every single game at the World Cup, by the way. 81 fixtures across 39 days. Why your sleep pattern's going to be so messed up, Key? I start learning to sleep on the 1st of June. Literally, I've got a full sleep diary all laid out. 1st of June is when my sleep starts to get gradually moved. I've got to be very regimented so that by the 11th of June, when the World Cup kicks off, I am fully ready to be on nights, because that's when I'm going to be watching games at 2, 3, 4 a.m. kickoffs. But hey, listen, if you've got a bit of insomnia and you're awake and you want to watch a bit of football and you're awake for the World Cup games in the early hours, or you stagger back in after a night out and you think, oh, I could do with a bit of company while I'm watching Egypt versus Iran at 4 a.m. Then you can always just jump on with me. I'll be watching it. Legend FK, disgraceful. Didn't he just want Liverpool back to their old self? No, not at all. Not at all, no. No, Mo Salah is an absolute disgrace, I think, with what he said. And he's done it multiple times now. Jellyfish, you can't do every game. Well, you can. You can do every game that it's feasible to actually do. Obviously, the final group stage games, it's not possible to do every game because they play at the same time. But you can do every... Let's say, all right, I'm doing every slot. Every single slot. Every game where there's actually a game happening, every match day slot, I'll be doing it. Obviously, on the final group stage games, they're playing together. I'll have to pick a game because there might only be 2 games going on. Jellyfish, you won't do it. You watch. You watch. Kyle, I have no idea how people are backing Salah. His attitude has been awful ever since he was dropped. That's it. Yeah, to be honest, I don't understand how Liverpool fans are backing him. Decent start here early on. Villa pressing very, very high. They've had a couple of chances that the referees pulled it back. Jellyfish, every televised game, you mean? They're all on telly. Every single one of them's on telly, Jelly. Jelly. Yeah, every single one of them's on telly, so I'll be live for every single one. Strike! Oh, great effort that. Unlucky. Morgan Rogers with a curling effort. Phooey. Gary Key, I have to pick you up on this £1 billion Arteta spent in the last 2 years. Not 2, just 7. The last 7 since Arteta arrived at the club. Yeah. Tristan, dude, you don't need to spam, mate. You don't need to spam. I know you're desperate to be given a bit of attention. I know you don't maybe get that much attention at home, but come on. Don't be a dick, mate. You don't need to be a dick. Don't be like that. Just be sound. You can say whatever you want. Jellyfish says, because you can't do a watch-along without a game televised in the UK. What are you talking about? Every game, every World Cup game is televised in the UK. Every single one of them. Every World Cup game is live. Everyone. Timbo, I think Salah making those comments is a bigger problem than his actual comments. Don't think he said a lot wrong, but it's so clearly self-serving. It is. Yeah, he's massive. He's doing it for himself. He's not doing it for anything else. This is why, oh yeah, he's doing it because he cares about the club. Don't be so stupid. Don't be so naive. He's doing it because he's got no contract in 8 days' time and he's still negotiating. He's negotiating every game. Yo, Rob, how's it going, lad? Gooners Villains, would you take Rodgers at Liverpool? I mean, he's a very good player, but I wouldn't pay... You're probably looking at 100 million to get him out of Villa, and no, I wouldn't pay anywhere close to that for him. I don't... Liverpool don't need that. Liverpool need width. We need width and pace, and players who get their boots white. You know, we don't need players cutting inside. We got loads of that. Jellyfish, every game is live in the UK. Yes. Every single game is live in the UK. 100% of the World Cup games are live on TV in the UK. I don't know if it's on terrestrial TV, but I assume they are, yes. There you go. Every game's on BBC and ITV Live. Yeah, every World Cup game, nearly every World Cup. I can never remember a World Cup game not being shown on terrestrial TV. They're all on terrestrial TV, aren't they? Craig, does Slot go, mate, or stay another season? He absolutely stays, mate. The club are backing him, which is fantastic news. There you go. Hull explore cancelling playoff final. Hull might cancel the playoff final. How mad is this? We are literally talking like a few days to the playoff final. And Southampton are suing because they want to be in it, think they should be in it, even though they won the right to be in it. Middlesbrough are in it by default, and I think they're just kind of counting their blessings. And Hull are now exploring the possibility of cancelling it full stop and saying that they won't fulfil the fixture, even though they got to the final and have done nothing wrong. It's crazy. Lewis, will Salah play his last game at Anfield for his farewell? Yes, I think so. The old ways with Mbappe in a huff at Madrid, would you take him on a season-long loan? Oh, God. Imagine we get rid of one prima donna in Salah and we bring in Kylian Mbappe instead. Billy McDougall, what a day it was for me yesterday, Key. Do you think Hull should get promoted automatically? I honestly think Southampton should be in the final. If I'm dead honest, mate, I think it's a storm in a teacup. I absolutely agree they should get a punishment. I don't know what that punishment should be. I thought it would be like a hefty fine. Maybe a couple of mil. Something like that. Couple of mil. And maybe a suspended, points deduction or something like that. Like, if you do it again, then you're getting a points deduction. But I think to throw them out of the playoff final and to give them a points deduction next season, my goodness me. Oh, sweet Lord. I think that's so harsh. Egypt is going to get rocked in the World Cup. Let's see how much heavy metal football Unk Salah plays. This charming Dan. Hey Key, hope you're doing well this fine evening. Just became the 47th subscriber to the Matchday Tavern. Love the name. It really fits the vibe you created. Cheers, man. Thank you very much. I thought it was... I did sort of have a think about channel names. And when I was asking you guys the other night, what do we think? I was sincerely asking. I was hoping for some inspiration. And in the end, I landed on that one. But... Yeah, thank you very much. Really appreciate you going over and subscribing. Billy says, mine Leeds only got a 200,000 fine when they did it. And they did it all season, didn't they? All season. James, evening key. What's the prediction, lad? For this one, I think both teams to score, Aston Villa on penalties or extra time. Rob, key in the cold light of day. What's your take on the scenes at the Emirates after Arsenal got over the line? Scenes at the Emirates? Oh, you mean outside the ground? I haven't seen them, mate. I know there was people there, but I haven't seen them. I genuinely haven't seen them. I have been on social media today. I've seen them, but I have seen like loads of posts, but not anything that shows people outside the ground. I'm sure it did happen, but I haven't seen anything. We haven't forgotten, Mr. It's offside, ref. Let the party begin. Hope you enjoy Arsenal lifting the Prem and it replays in your dreams. Biggest hater. No, there's no hatred, mate. Thank you for the super chat. Never any hatred. Never hatred. Only love. I don't love Arsenal's style of play, but I have no problem with Arsenal. Shell, you won't get rid of us that easy, Key. I keep changing the channels, trying to move around, see if I can escape you. Panashista, did you hear what Carragher said about Curtis Jones on the overlap? Yeah, that hold on, son. And I think the players need to take accountability. Only Verge has done that. Mo Salah's blaming everyone but himself. Honestly, I genuinely think if you got Salah in a room without cameras and you said to him, let's say you had a secret mic recording and you said to him, what's the reason for your form this season? I guarantee you he'd blame his teammates, the manager's tactics, he'd blame the pitches, maybe his boots have been a bit too tight. He'd blame everything but himself. Everything but himself. Mr. Al-Shamari, I know it sounds dramatic, but I'm in pain. Couldn't sleep last night. My mental health is through the roof. Can't get my head around Arsenal winning the Prem. Lost interest in footy. Any advice, Key? Any advice? Mate, I would say genuinely, I don't know whether that's you being facetious and playful or if you're being genuine. If you're being genuine and you're really upset about it, I would honestly talk to someone. I would reach out to someone. I genuinely would talk to someone. That would be the first thing I would say. The second thing I would say is it's football and it's constantly changing. So the wonderful thing about Arsenal winning the league is that nobody will care in about 2 weeks because the World Cup starts and everyone will be focusing on the World Cup. It'd be much worse if we had a full summer with no football because then everyone will be talking about Arsenal. They're going to win it again. Everyone will be switching off from club football for about 8 weeks. No one's even going to be thinking about it, talking about it. If Arsenal fans try and talk about it, they'll be like, yeah, so what, mate? World Cup's on. Not even bothered about you. And then when the new season starts, nobody's really interested in what happened last year. By the time we get to the summer transfer window, everyone's talking about, yeah, well, so what? You ain't going to win it this year because we've just signed this player and he's going to win it for us. It's all that sort of stuff. So once silly season starts, you'll start to get excited again. You'll start to get excited again about your team potentially doing something a bit different. Don't worry about it, mate. Arsenal are having their moment now. And let's be honest, it's been a long time coming. Let them have their moments. But definitely don't let it affect your mental health. I know that's maybe easier said than done, but really don't let it affect your mental health, mate. Look, there's far bigger things going on in life. And far more important things. But I would genuinely urge you to speak to someone. Hopefully you do have you do have someone close by. We'll be here. We'll be here every single day watching games of footy. And we're always here for a chat, mate. Welsh, evening key. Am I allowed to say Rice now has more Prem medals than Gerrard, hence he's better? Or is that a bit cheeky? You can say what you like, mate. I don't think it necessarily makes it true, mind. Ethan, hello Key, I'm on my walk on a sunny evening, but I will keep the stream on. Good lad, Ethan. It's going to be a goal kick to Freiburg, 20 minutes in. John Woods, good advice. Well, I try. Locke says, do you think Arsenal will be title favourites at the start of next season? Yeah, listen, last year's winners usually are going into the new season, aren't they? So, yeah, I think Arsenal will start de facto, favourites, especially with Pep leaving, the sort of uncertainty around slots. Yeah, I think Arsenal will start as favourites. But again, Liverpool were favourites going into this year. A lot of good it did them, right? So, favourites is only a means of measuring failure. Or measuring disappointments, I guess. Because Liverpool were favourites this season. Favourites don't always win it. Rob Key, this is my first time actually joining you for a watch-along, having only seen snippets of you on Haters TV, which clouded my judgment about you. I do keep saying this. I mean, I try. I'm not an arrogant guy, mate. I haven't got an ego at all. People in the chat, the regulars, will tell you that I have not. I'm frequently wrong. There's no arrogance with it. Best idea wins with me. But I do keep telling people this. I get clipped up so badly. I get clipped up so badly, and then people come in and go, "You're nothing like I thought you'd be." Regret making the mistake of judging you unfairly. You're a top lad. That's questionable. Give it a bit longer. You might change your view. But yeah, no, don't worry about it, mate. It's good to have you in. Got lots of Arsenal fans and other fans of other clubs in the chat, so you're all welcome, and it's lovely to see everyone, and we love watching games of footy together. To be honest, the first 20 minutes of this one, I've been a little bit, maybe not flat. Again, you're looking for a team to really seize control of the game. I don't think either team have done that. Unai Emery, if anything, he looks a bit anxious to me. Certainly doesn't look like a manager who's seeing what he expected to see in the opening 20 minutes. Freiburg are putting Villa under a lot of pressure from set pieces. Vincenzo Grifo's down, who's their star player and captain. He's down at the moment getting a bit of treatment. Hopefully he stays on for him. Burlow, respect for being humble, and may the best team win. Arsenal, Liverpool, United going to be mad next time. Yeah, Chelsea too, legend FK. I think there'll be a fair few teams in amongst it next year. Carl Key, with the managerial uncertainty surrounding Liverpool, United, Chelsea and City, which team would be the most appealing to attracting new players? Honestly, I would say at this moment in time, Chelsea. And the reason I say that is because Chelsea are usually have been very poorly run financially. They've been willing to give players very big contracts and very long contracts. So that's one reason that they usually will entice. There's also the London factor. There's also the fact that they've got a newly appointed manager who is, does have big European credentials in Xabi Alonso. So I think that Xabi Alonso pull, the London pull, the fact that they've got prior recent success of winning Champions Leagues and, go into multiple European finals. Obviously, they beat Arsenal, didn't they, in the Europa League final? So, yeah, I think there's merit to saying Chelsea are probably the more attractive proposition to a lot of players. But if I'm dead honest, Chelsea are looking for players that Liverpool and Man United aren't really looking at. Like, you look at Liverpool and United, who are the players they're going in for? It's midfielders. And maybe to a degree, fullbacks. Chelsea don't need that. Chelsea don't need midfielders. They're sorted for midfield. Chelsea are probably needing they need a goalkeeper for sure. They need maybe at least one or two centre-backs. They probably need a winger and maybe a centre-forward. Joe, Mark Goldbridge doing a show on the United stand with the title as Tonali hands in transfer request. I can't find any reports of this happening, even from Big Toon journalists. It's hilarious. This is what they do, though. I'm not digging Mark Goldbridge out, but this is what it's about, isn't it? This is, if you post a thumbnail that says something rumoured to be happening, or it looks like it's happened, Tonali. If I put in Mbappe to City imminent, and I did that as a thumbnail, you would get loads of clicks. But I bet your average view duration would be like a second, because people would click in, realise that it's absolute nonsense, and then leg it. Jay Cartman, Chelsea definitely need a striker because the lap couldn't score in an open goal. And Malendoni, who would you rather win this final? Honestly, I don't mind. I'd quite like Villa to win, I guess, because they're an English club and I have no beef with Villa at all. But I also think it'd be quite nice to see Freiburg win it. They've never won anything in their entire history. And that's a real fairy tale, isn't it? They've got to a European final and they've won it. That would be a real well done story. Finners Matty, if this goes to pen, then we've got two of the best penalty savers on the pitch. Martinez and Atabolu. Burlow, as an Arsenal fan, I'm buzzing, but I'm hoping for next season to be more exciting and challenging. And Gunas Villains, I hope we go for Tonali, Barcola and Alvarez this summer. Do you really think that's likely to happen? I honestly think Arsenal are going to be more about keeping older players this summer than they are signing. City of Northville, they really did steal like 3 of your transfer targets. You really think they won't steal your midfielder too? No, I don't, because I think they're swamped with midfielders. They've got so many midfielders. Lavia, Andre Santos, Caicedo, Enzo. They've got loads of midfielders. They don't need any more midfielders. They have a few big gaps in their squad, and I think the first pressing issue for Chelsea is going to be Xabi Alonso is going to want a goalkeeper he can trust. He's going to want centre-backs he can rely on, and he'll probably need 3 of them, won't he, because he plays with a back 3. So he's going to want 3 centre-backs. And I think of the ones that Chelsea have, there's only really Colwill that I look at and think he could play. Colwill will be okay. Will Mortimer, hey mate, do you read chat? Yeah, absolutely mate. Burlow, love all round though. So many great teams with potential next season. Yes, there is. Eric Matthew, need 10 Villa shots here tonight, Key. Well, there's been 1, I think, is the one so far. How many have we had for Villa? Let me have a look. How many shots have we had? Total shots. Oh, 2. 2 shots. 2 shots for Villa. 1 of them on target. Do you think back 3 is effective in the Prem? Well, it can be. I guess it depends on how it's played. I wouldn't rule out a back 3. I would never say a back 3 can't work. I'm sure Xabi Alonso's not going to just immediately switch to a back 4 because he's coming to the Prem. A back 3 can absolutely work. It's about how it's delivered. Shahid, what a flop Lavia is. Should have gone to Liverpool. Would have been our main player. Dan, it's Palace v Rayo Vallecano next week, Key. Will you be streaming it? Yes. Yes, mate, I will. We'll be live over on the Matchday Tavern for that one. So, yeah, I need you to go to the Matchday Tavern and subscribe if you've not already. The Old Ways, seen a good question today. Who's your dad's team, your team, and your local team? Your dad's team, your team, and your local team. I mean, Liverpool is me dad. Let's answer that in the chat. There you go. Get your answers in the chat. That's a question that's from the Old Ways. Seen a good question today. Who's your dad's team, your team, and your local team? His is QPR. That's his dad's team. Arsenal is his team. And Alloa is his local team. Alloa Athletic. For me, my dad's team was Liverpool, is Liverpool. Mine, for the same reason, is Liverpool. And my local team, I've moved around a bit, but I guess it's tough because where I was born, there's probably about 4 or 5 clubs as the crow flies that I could have supported. And I don't know how much in mileage what the distance was. So I guess where I grew up, Liverpool was very close, Anfield. But then again, so was Goodison. Because if you draw a straight line from my house to those grounds, Goodison, Anfield, Wigan, Tranmere, Stockport, maybe. Stockport, Altrincham. Altringham's non-league, but, you know, Altrincham would maybe be another one. There's a few, yeah. There's a few that you could say, but yeah, I'd say Liverpool maybe at a push for my local. Jay Cartman, don't have a dad, so can't answer. Oh, fucking hell. Now don't I feel like a bag of shit. Mad Pup says, Erdry, Rangers, Erdry. You big turncoat. Can't believe you didn't follow Erdry. Bryce, United's focus better be pretty much all defensive. Our centre-backs, but health has been an issue, so we need some help there. As you said, full-backs, I'd say a CDM as well. What are we saying? Shahid, what a flop Lavia is. Should have gone to Liverpool, would have been our main player. This charming Dan. Key, what do you think of Liverpool's link with Enzo Lefebvre? Seems like nonsense. Since you need a winger and he's far more effective in the 10. Yeah, I don't see that. He's not really a player I'd want. Liverpool, Peterborough United. Nice, Big Will. Kyle says Liverpool, Carrick Rangers. Good lad. Liverpool. Will Mortimer, great in that case. Thank you for brightening up my day with your reaction to Arsenal winning the Prem. No worries, mate. I'm glad I helped. Burlow, enough of the Prem. What do you think of England coming into the World Cup? I mean, listen, mate, I'm not really a massive international football fan. Like, I don't really... If England go out of the tournament, I won't lose a wink of sleep over it. I'm not, like... I don't hate England. I just don't really... I can't really get into it. I don't really follow international football in maybe the same way that I do with Liverpool. But I think Spain are going to win it. I'd say France are probably a close second. I don't see us... I say us. I don't think England will win it. I think maybe you could see us get into a quarters or a semis at a push, but I don't see us winning it. And I don't see any of the South American countries winning it either, for what it's worth. Brazil and Argentina have kind of been all over the place. Stockport used to manage them an LMA manager as a kid. What a pish. Reese, miss my dad watching from heaven. Reese, sending lots of love to you, mate. Very... It's not something I can empathise with. So I won't sit here and patronise and say I can understand, because I can't. But what I'll say is I can only imagine how sad it must be to lose your old man. So sending lots of love to you, mate. Dan, what are we saying, Dan? Shell, have you been to your new stadium for a game? I think she has, haven't you, Shell? You've been to the Hill Dickinson. Fairness, Matty Key, since they're not really on anything tomorrow, you could do another one of those team of the season streams or a big quiz night. We could. Yeah, I guess we could, couldn't we? Maybe. Oh, Christian, sending some dislike from Long Island again. Lots of love, mate. Who's your World Cup favourite dark horse breakout player? Dark horse? Probably Norway. Everyone seems to be leaning towards Norway. One of the hosts could surprise us. Hosts tend to always do a little bit, maybe Mexico. Maybe Mexico out of the blue just throws a curveball. Marlon Donny says Iraola would be the perfect manager for Liverpool if they keep Slot into the top 5 race. Not for me, mate, no. I think Arne Slot absolutely can get us in a better position next year. And personally, I would much rather see through this project than start a brand new one. If you bring in a new manager, whoever it is, they're starting at square one. They've got to come in, reassess all the players. That's a waste of time as well. Japan, yeah. Jason Squire says Japan. Japan's not a bad shout at all, Spain play great football and France have an insanely talented squad. Ecuador will win the World Cup. Could do, yeah. Ecuador, not a bad shout. Timbo, my dad supported Chelsea, split up with my mum and came back into our lives as a Liverpool fan. I really shouldn't laugh, but that's a proper transformation. That's one of them that should have been on Jeremy Kyle. My dad left as a Chelsea fan and came back as a Liverpool fan. So me and my brother support our dad's team, but I'm Chelsea and he's Liverpool. Weird, innit? Mad. Hey, I bet it was fun. With you and your kid, though, growing up, mate. Chelsea and Liverpool. I don't know how old he is, but I assume it would have been great fun around the Champions League games. If he's that old. Mercury, honestly, with the way most ticketing goes, it could be hard to get a Premier League match if I could afford the trip over. So I try to watch the lower league fixtures to get my fix. You really should. You really, really should. Some of the lower league games in England are fantastic. Some of the best football I've watched. Do you know what? Some of the best watch-alongs we've done on this channel. Rochdale and York, what a finish to that game it was. It wasn't a great game of football for 90 minutes before it. That was one of the best ends to a game I think we've seen on Premier League, Dad. And we've watched a lot of games here, haven't we? It was a horror, mate, we'd argue for hours. Well, that's what brothers do. Me and my big brother did as well. Me and my big brother used to argue. We still do, to be honest. And I'm in my 30s, he's in his 40s now. I always remember the neighbours coming and knocking on. We used to play wrestling in the front room. And he'd be like power slamming me and I'd be like sweet chin music in him and whatever. We'd take the cushions off the couch and it'd be like full on, rock bottom and all that stuff. And after we got tired out playing wrestling, usually the sort of testosterone was pumping, and that's usually when we'd have a bit of a scrap. And it'd be one of them where it starts off as like play fighting, and then that's one of us hits the other two hard. And it starts spiraling. But yeah, the neighbour came and knocked on and was like, is everything alright? To me dad, is everything alright? And she's like, yeah, why, what's up? She said, just sounded like there was a murder going on yesterday. It's me and our kid playing wrestling in front room. Billy McDougall, I'm Arsenal, my brother's Spurs. North London Derby's a great game. But it's good fun at the minute as well with your kid's a Spurs fan. Big Will Gaming, sadly... Oh my God. Oh, I would read that, but I don't know if there's some sensitive people who may find that offensive. But I think that's quite tame. But I won't say it just in case. But it was quite a funny joke, to be fair. City of Northville, I got a concussion as a kid when my cushion did the tombstone pile driver to me in the yard. Fucking hell. Key just got choke slammed. We did, yeah. Do you know what he used to do? He used to do the Ultimate Warrior gorilla press. Do you know what it's like that? Full on gorilla press and then like throw me up behind his head. Because he was like 6-7 years older than me. So it was always me getting battered, to be honest. Dan Key, did you ever get on with anyone? Oh, I always get at them, I'll get on with anyone. Unless we're talking football. But yeah, generally speaking, I can have a chat with anyone, me. I was in sales, mate. I can talk shit with anyone. Streets of Rage 2. Oh, yes. Streets of Rage 2 was a hell of a game. Price, I have 4 older brothers. Safe to say I was getting all the WWF, WCW wrestling moves done to me. Oh, we broke loads of furniture doing, power slams and Swanton bombs was the one. Swanton bomb off the top rope / the top of the couch. We'd end up flying off and knocking a coffee table over. In sales with no merch. I know, mate, but alright, I'm in sales, but I've got a heart. I'm not in the habit of going, hey, get this Premier League Dad mug. I don't know why I have to add an American accent. Get this Premier League Dad American mug. I don't know why it's become an American mug. Used to love playing Double Dragon, and I was always Chunk Chunk Li. Chun-Li. Surely you mean Chun-Li. That's Street Fighter, right? That's Double Dragon. You can tell transfer silly season is nearly upon us with some of the ridiculous links going round, says this charming Dan. I think reporters just pick random names of players and teams from a hat to see if anyone buys it. It's a little bit like the... have you seen the South Park Family Guy episode? I don't know if you watch South Park at all, but if you watch the South Park Family Guy episode, South Park take the mick out of Family Guy by basically saying they choose their jokes by having manatees pick balls from like different coloured balls and pushing them into a machine. And it'll say like random things. It'll say like, you know, O.J. Simpson, popcorn, and the White House. And that'll create a joke for Family Guy. It'll be stuff like that. So, I do wonder whether or not that's how transfer rumours get done. Manatees picking out a name. Morgan Gibbs-White. £65 million. Lincoln City. Try and make that one work. Go. Get on it. Marlon Donny, bias aside, would you say Arsenal are the worst Premier League champions? They're not the... They might be the most... Oh my God, what a goal! Oh my God, what an absolute screamer from Yuri Tielemans. It's 1-0 Villa. That is an absolute worldie. That is an absolute worldie of a goal. Oh my God. It's incredible. No chance at all. No chance from Atubolu. My goodness me. Oh, wow. It's a screamer. It's floated over to the far post and Tielemans runs onto it. He watches it onto his foot. It's a well-worked Villa move from the corner. Oh, Tielemans, how's about that? You could have 4 keepers in the net. They're not stopping it. It's a lovely, lovely floated cross. Tielemans runs onto it on the volley, edge of the box, watches it onto his right foot and smashes it bottom corner. Unsavable, that goal. Unsavable. You just don't save those. Rob, straight off the training ground. Southampton would have kept that out. Get Southampton on it. Some goal that. Pete says that happened with my brother and me. I smacked him in the mouth. Dan, why do you hate Arsenal so much? We ain't that bad. I don't hate Arsenal, mate. You've got me wrong. You've got me all wrong, I promise you. Life of Justin, damn you, Freiburg. Just get to half time. Up the villains. Truth over lies. I hope every English team lose their European final for the good of football. Sam, thoughts on Spygate? It's a bit of a storm in a teacup for me. I think they've been a bit unfortunate, Southampton, to get thrown out and get points. And the manager's left and everything. Everything's collapsed from being on the brink of the Premier League, 90 minutes from the Prem, to they've got a 4-point deduction. They've been thrown out of the playoff final and their manager's left. Like, I just can't see a worse possible outcome for Southampton. And yes, I know they've spied. I don't think it's cheating. I don't think it's cheating. Because you are legally allowed to go and spy, let's call it. People get hung up on that word, spy. You're not spying. It's one guy there with an iPhone. He's got an iPhone and he's like half a mile away, for God's sake. You're not going to catch anything meaningful there. And, you know, you are allowed to go and watch other teams train over 72 hours before a game. So, even within the EFL rules, if on a Saturday you've got a game, you're allowed to go and watch a team train on the Tuesday. But you can't go and watch them train on the Wednesday. Like, how pathetic is that? It's totally allowed. It's absolutely permissible. But because of the timings, then, yeah, Southampton are getting madly punished. I personally don't think that's fair or reasonable. Bryce Key, grab some fireball. You've got to take a shot every stream once you're on the tavern. The Tav. We'll have to start calling it the Tav. Welcome to the Tav. The Matchday Tavern. Maybe I'll start selling some craft ales or something like that. Make some home craft ales. Lotto battle. Lotto balls are how Goldbridge makes his one-liners. Sure is more useless than... Mandalips on a woodpecker. Oh my goodness. Southampton aren't the first team to get severe punishment, but others got points deducted. And worst thing is Middlesbrough played the exact same system they've played all season. Exactly. What exactly do you gain from scouting like that anyway? Just feels like a bit of a draconian punishment, I would say. Graham, I'll be having a JD and Coke in the Matchday Tavern when it opens. Well, it opens Saturday, by the way, people. Just as a heads up, it will be live on Saturday. Saturday is our very first stream on the Matchday Tavern. So yeah, come and get involved. Welcome in. Saturday's Championship playoff final, assuming it takes place. Apparently, it's still set for 4:30, but I can't even do the thumbnail yet. I can't do the description. I can't set it up because we don't know who it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be Middlesbrough versus Hull. I don't know if it's going to be Hull versus Southampton. I don't know if it's even going to take place and Hull are just going to get a bye to the Premier League. We haven't got a clue, have we? Villa! Oh, it's going to be another corner on the far side. Nearly 2-0 Villa. Craft ales and American mugs. Tankards. Let's get some Matchday Tavern tankards. The Matchday Tavern tankards. Yes. See, that's just fucking genius. Genius. Kickoff's been moved to 3:30 unless Southampton win the appeal and it's still 4:30. Is that serious? That's weird. Neil Jagger, are you watching both League 1 and League 2 playoff finals on Sunday and Monday respectively? Yes, I think that's the plan up to now. I'm certainly doing the Championship playoff final assuming it goes ahead. I'm certainly doing the League 2 playoff final on Monday, which is Notts County and Salford. The League 1 playoff final is Sunday, isn't it? At 1 o'clock, and it's before Liverpool-Brentford kick off at 4. So I could do that one. We could do 2 games on the Sunday. Salford and Bolton, followed by Liverpool-Brentford in the Premier League final day. Oh, Welsh has gone early. The top 20 South American players with the most Prem appearances who never went to the World Cup. My goodness me, that's a big ask. Got 20 seconds of the game left. Hang on. Legend FK, did Paraguay make it or still no World Cup since 98? I don't know, actually. I don't think they did make it, did they? I don't think Paraguay did make it. Strike! Oh, it's another screamer! Villa have done it again. It's 2-0. It's 2 absolute gems. Buendia. Freiburg 0, Villa 2. Unbelievable stuff. The limbs in Istanbul. Villa have got one hand on the trophy. Freiburg are going to have to do something very special to turn this round. Julian Schuster's got his work cut out for him. Oh my goodness me. What a worldie from Buendia. Just inked his name into Villa folklore. Left-footed, edge of the box, top corner. Noah Atabolu, a talented young goalkeeper, but no chance with either of the goals tonight. Oh, right in the top corner. Great goal. Fully deserved. Stop it, Buendia. You stop it. Oh. Wow. Look at that. And that's half time. Referee's blown up. There you go. Half time. That was quick. Freiburg 0, Villa 2. They've raced into a 2-goal lead with 2 fabulous goals. Right. Half time quiz. 1 second. Let me change the Let me change the quiz thing 1 second. Halftime quiz. Top 20 South Americans with most PL apps that never played in a World Cup. Difficult, okay. Right, there you go. Sorry, I was just trying to make sure we had all the answers in. Right, so top 20 South Americans who've never played in a World Cup based on their number of appearances in the Prem. So Fabinho, you said, was 14th. Fabinho's never played in a World Cup. Has he really? 17, 18, 19, 20. 14 was Fabinho. DJ Sonny, how's it going, lad? Who else have we got? I don't think we've got anyone else, have we, yet? Martinelli, Gilberto, Went, Anthony, Jesus. No, we've not got any answers yet. Edu is 13th. Edu never went to a World Cup. Fabinho. Nobby Solano. Yeah, Nobby Solano's got to be there. Gus Poyet is probably not a bad shout as well. Not Fabinho. Who said Fabinho? Oh, Fabio. Fabio. Oh, well then what about Rafael? Did Rafael go? Roque Santa Cruz, yes. Roque Santa Cruz is not a bad shout. Roque, Solano, Poyet. Who else was there? Who else have we said? Asprilla, Willian, Federico Fernandez. Shaka Hislop's from Trinidad, mate, not South American. Rafael is 11th. Okay. So we're looking for Brazilians who spent... Lucas. Did Lucas play in a World Cup? I bet Lucas didn't. Lucas Leiva. Santa Cruz is 16th. Joe Linton. Yeah, Joe Linton's not a bad shout. Valencia. Antonio Valencia, I think he did play in a World Cup. I'm almost certain he did. I'm starting to think of Liverpool players who never quite made it. What about Colaccini? Lucas is first. Yeah, we got Lucas. Did Colaccini go for Newcastle? And if he didn't, what about Jonas Gutierrez? Jonas Gutierrez was Argentinian. Yeah. Funes Mori's not a bad shout. Caicedo, possibly. Has Ecuador? I think Ecuador's... What about... I've got one for you. Salomon Rondon. Venezuela. Salomon Rondon. Victor Moses is Nigerian, Pete. Yeah, not South American. Colaccini did. What about Salomon Rondon? Rondon, Almiron. Jonas Gutierrez went to the World Cup. Did he really? All right, okay. Salomon Rondon definitely didn't go to the World Cup. And Nobby Solano as well. Nobby Solano's not been to a World Cup. Fabio Aurelio. Love that shout. Almiron is 19th. Excuse me. Trying to think of others. Rondon is 10th. Did we get Solano? Nobby Solano. Marlon says, the Europa League has really fallen off. We used to see teams like Arsenal, Chelsea, Atleti, Sevilla, United. Now Freiburg. I think the thing is with Freiburg, and that is, I think what we're doing with the Europa League and the Conference League is actually a really positive thing. It's short-term pain for long-term gain. So instead of having teams drop down from the Champions League and the teams drop down from the Conference League, if you go out of the Champions League, you're out. Let the teams in the Europa League and the Conference League win it and go far. Freiburg, is this not brilliant? Do you not enjoy this? Freiburg, for the first time in their entire history, have a chance of winning something, anything, in a European final. We're seeing Villa, 40, isn't it? 44 years since Villa won a European trophy. Wow, this is great. This is brilliant. Claudio Jacob. What about, I'm trying to think of older Premier League players. What about Julio Arca? Julio Arca's probably not a bad one. Tell you what, it's a hell of a goal there. Unbelievable goal. Absolutely incredible goal. Jakob is 7th. Good answer. Rodallega. Ooh, I think Rodallega might have gone, you know. Rodallega might have gone. Trying to think of, like, bang average Argentines and Brazilians, because there was a lot of them about. Franco Di Santo. What about Franco Di Santo? I bet he's in there. And so Rodallega is 8th. Hugo Rodallega is 8th. Why have we not said Solano or Julio Arca? Solano, Julio Arca. Di Santo was another one I said. Who else have we got? I'm trying to think of others that might be in there. Did Lamela go? Did Lamela ever go to a World Cup? I'm sure he would have done, wouldn't he? Wilson Palacios. Yes, Wilson Palacios is a very good shout. I wonder. Palacios. Did we say yes or no to Poyet? Poyet, Palacios. Tough. Yeah, really tough. I don't know, you know. Really don't know. What about what's his name at Bournemouth at the minute? Senesi. Senesi, I don't think he's played for Argentina yet, has he? Not Solano. Di Santo is 20th. Figueroa is fantastic. Neil says, Key, do you feel like this result secured you lot Champions League football and silences all the haters saying you wouldn't? This result? No, this result has no bearing on it, mate. 5th is already boxed. Doesn't make any difference. Liverpool have already got Champions League football. Even if Villa lost tonight, doesn't make a difference. Joel Robles. Robles was Spanish, wasn't he? Nobby Solano. There's absolutely no way that Nobby Solano has fewer Premier League appearances than Franco Di Santo. He never played in a World Cup. I'm absolutely not having that. I'm calling that one out. Joe Anderson from United. I think Anderson played in a World Cup. Be astonished if Anderson didn't. Yeah, there weren't that many. Like rogue. I'm trying to think of like rogue nations in. There was only ever Salomon Rondon that I could think of from Venezuela. I don't think there was anyone else really, was there? Uruguay. Again, there weren't many great Uruguayans in the Premier League, were there? Certainly none that didn't go to the World Cup. Forlan, Nunes. I think Bentancur might have done. So yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. But Alberto Solano's got to be there. Poyet is 4th. The old ways, these questions stress my brain out. They're better. Mrs. is trying to talk to me. She keeps getting shushed and I keep getting jabbed. 4th is Poyet. Okay. Definitely need a steward's inquiry on that one yet. Michael Antonio's Jamaican, so not South American. I'll give you 18th, which is Sandro. Sandro is 18th. So we need 17th, 15th, 12th, 9th, 6th, 5th, 3rd, and 2nd. We haven't got half of these yet. We're garbage, us. Ilano from City. Yes, Ilano Bloomer from City, possibly. Ilano's not a bad shout. Yeah, possibly. Any other, like, long-term, any other long-term players who wouldn't have made a World Cup squad in the Premier League? South American World Cup. Juan Pablo Angel. Juan Pablo Angel was in the World Cup for Colombia, was he? I don't think Colombia made 2002, did they? Or 2006? Marlon, yeah, but for the public it's boring. No one used to miss the Europa League Final. Some of the scenes we've seen in them, like Lovren and Luckman's hat-trick. Lovren. Gaston Ramirez, maybe. Maybe Gaston Ramirez. It's a tough quiz. Very tough quiz. Juan Pablo Angel is 6th. Look at me. Look at me throwing him out there. Chicharito. Central America, Mexico, innit? Central America. You can't get away with calling Mexico South America. It's a tough one. It's a very tough quiz, this. Really tough. I'm trying to, like, rack my brain thinking of low. It's going to be, if they've got to a World Cup, it's either going to be, like, nations who never made a World Cup. Like, that's why I said Salomon Rondon. Venezuela have not been at a World Cup, I don't think. If they have, I don't remember them anyway. So, countries like that. Peru. That's why I said Nobby Solano. Nobby Solano's got to be there. Got to be there. We've got to have missed him. Gomez is 3rd. Aurelio Gomez. Oh, of course. Oh, see, now you've turned me on to something here. What about goalkeepers? Yeah. Any Uruguayan goalkeeper? Oh, that was Muslera, wasn't it, for Uruguay? Uruguayan, Peru, Colombian goalkeepers. Ospina? No, he'd have gone to a World Cup. Goalkeepers make a lot of Prem appearances, don't they? Teofilo Cubillas. Cubillas! Scored a great goal back in the day, didn't he? Denilson. Chelsea in talks and Mbappe. Told you they was the only ones dumb enough to risk getting that drama queen. Did say I think he'd be leaving. There's just really not that many, is there? There's so few. So few. Was Palacios there, Key? I haven't heard Wilson Palacios yet, Welsh. Wilson Palacios. Caballero. Willie Caballero, I think, did do. Very close to kicking off for the second half, Welsh. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more to get. Come on, we need your help here, mate. We need to. I think you're gonna have to put us out of our misery. You're gonna have to put us out of our misery. Give us 2. Give us number. Give us 17. We need 17, 15, 12, 9, 5, and 2. Palacios, I said earlier, did not. Okay, no, not Wilson Palacios. So he's not in there. Surprising. Okay, 17, 15, 12, 9, 5, and 2. There you go. Give us them answers, Welsh. Angelo Henriquez. Fernando Amorebieta. Could be. Certainly could be. Roberto Firmino. I think Firmino didn't he? Pretty sure Firmino did. But again, could be wrong. Could be wrong. Gabriel's not a bad shout, you know. I don't know if Gabriel's been to a World Cup with Brazil. I'm sure he will do this year, but I don't think he has yet. Okay. 17 was Alphos. Who's Alphos? Who's Alphos? 15th was Giovanni from Hull. 12th was Silvinho. 9th, Douglas Luiz. 5th is Lanzini. And 2nd is Joe Linton. Very good quiz. There we go. Top 20. De Santo, Almiron, Sandro, Alphos, whoever number 17 Alphos is. 16 was Santa Cruz. 15 Giovanni. 14th Fabio. 13th Edu. 12th Silvinho. 11th Rafael. 10th is Rondon. 9th is Douglas Luiz. 8th is Rodallega. 7th was Claudio Jacob. 6th was Juan Pablo Angel. 5th was Lanzini. 4th Poyet. 3rd was Aurelio Gomez. 2nd Joe Linton. 1st is Lucas Leiva. As always, great quiz. Middlesbrough striker Afonso Alves. Afonso Alves was only in for 5 minutes. No way Afonso Alves has got more Premier League appearances than fucking Sandro and Almiron. No chance. He was bombed off after a year. It's definitely not Afonso Alves. No chance. Afonso Alves, how many appearances did he make in the Prem? Bet it wasn't many. 42. No chance. Absolutely no chance. No chance. Absolutely no chance he's got more appearances than De Santo, Almiron or Sandro. No chance. 0. But yeah, there you go. Halftime quiz. Fantastic work as always, Welsh. Let me get the tracker back on. Very tough quiz, though. Very, very tough quiz. Jose Cortez, what do you think of João Pedro not going to the World Cup? Not mega surprised. Richarlison hasn't gone either, has he? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. Freiburg down the right-hand side. Villa are having a bit of a... Yeah, they're having a good time at the minute, aren't they now, Villa? They just tried to lob the keeper. Freiburg starting to dominate possession, but it's very, very difficult, isn't it? Really, really difficult to play through Aston Villa like this. It's going to be hard to see him scoring 2. Really hard to see him scoring 2. Do we think Unai Emery stays with Aston Villa? Because, again, they've got a great setup there. They've got the Champions League. There's obviously rumours about Morgan Rogers going to be leaving. They have got quite a tight wage bill. Question is whether or not they're going to be able to do any business, I guess, in the summer. I do wonder. Someone was asking me earlier about potential managers from the Bundesliga that might be worth looking at for teams who are looking for a new manager this summer. I mean, I think the conversation was thinking around Liverpool, but no, I don't think it was. I don't think Arne Slot will be going anywhere. But a couple of managers worth looking at is definitely. I think Schuster's done a great job for Freiburg, but Christian Ilzer at Hoffenheim is another one. He's done a great job there, so I think Christian Ilzer might be one that's on the move before long. Gary, why could they not do business? Well, I think you've got to see how Villa's model operates, doesn't it? It's very, in terms of, I think, is it like 97% wages to turnover or something like that? They don't have a lot of wiggle room when it comes to sort of spend. They spend an awful lot of money on wages. Unai Emery's one of the best paid managers in Europe. They spent a lot of money on getting players in and paying them big money. I don't know how much money they're going to have. There's rumours that Aston Villa will need to sell this summer to kind of, not balance the books, but if they're going to have any money at all to spend, they might need to, it might be a sell to buy, put it that way. So if Unai Emery wants any money to improve his squad, he might have to shift on. Maybe Morgan Rogers, take the hit on Morgan Rogers going, and maybe move a couple of others, fringe players out, and then use that money to go and improve the squad. Stephen, do you think Bournemouth and Brighton are having a party right now? Listen, they're only having a party if Liverpool beat Brentford on the final day and City beat Villa. If that happens, then yeah, they've, 6th place has got Champions League football. And then all of a sudden we're talking about Bournemouth at the Bernabeu. Bournemouth at the Nou Camp. Could happen, couldn't it? But it definitely needs Villa to lose against City and Liverpool to beat Brentford. If that happens, Liverpool finish 4th, Villa finish 5th, Villa will have won the Europa League, and then that means Champions League qualification goes to 6th. So, yeah, that's the only world in which Bournemouth qualify. Or Brighton, or whoever finishes 6th. Finish Matty Key, if Villa win, do 6 get Champions League, or do Villa still have to finish 5th? They have to finish 5th as well. Yeah, they have to finish 5th and win the Europa League, and if that happens, then they've got Champions League for 6th place. Emery's staying and building for Champions League next season. He's building and content. Don't really see too many clubs that would come and knock the door down for him either. Very, very talented manager, but I just don't see any clubs coming in and kind of teasing Unai Emery away. The old ways, I mean, it is diabolical that England gets 6 teams in the Champions League. Madness in it. Yeah, I don't see that as fair either. You don't want to see 6 teams in the Champions League. It should really only be 1. In my humble opinion, the Champions League should be for the champions. Oh, scrappy in the area. Freiburg went for it. Very nearly 2-1. Very, very nearly 2-1. Kirk, you spent most of the season talking about Arsenal, now nothing, Key. Oh, I've been talking about Arsenal quite a bit, mate. Yeah, we spoke about it earlier in the game. Pete, do you trust Liverpool to beat Brentford after this season? Yeah, why not? Yeah, I think we'll beat Brentford. And to be honest, we don't even need to. We can lose. I don't think we will, but we can lose and we'll still get Champions League football. So it doesn't really make a difference. If we lose the game, we still have Champions League, so it's kind of boxed off. Doesn't really make that much of a difference. But I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with Mo Salah and how that whole thing pans out. Obviously, we'll be keeping an eye out on Spurs. What's going on in the Spurs-Everton game, the West Ham-Leeds game. That's really where the drama's going to be on the final day. So, we'll be keeping an eye on all those games. And we'll see how it goes. Jellyfish, it was designed champions of a league battles it out with other European League champions. That's it. I don't know why they've changed it. Well, I do know why they've changed it. They've changed it because they wanted to get more of the big clubs in, right? And if they got more of the big clubs in, then you get bigger games, and bigger games means more sponsorship money, and that's what they're after. They want Liverpool against Real Madrid. They want Man United against Barcelona. They don't want Malmo against Dynamo Zagreb. Even if those two are the champions of said nations. They don't want it. They don't want it. That's it. User 688, money, that's it. You called it. Money, money, money. Money, 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 money. Money. Oh, sorry, I had a moment there. Julia says Tottenham Hotspur champions of the Europa League. Only for another 40 minutes or so, mate. Another 40 minutes, Tottenham can enjoy their trophy. Villa down the left-hand side. Could be 3 here. Buendia. Great ball. Chance. Oh, it's there. What a goal. It's 3 absolutely fantastic goals, this, from Aston Villa. This is absolutely outrageous from Buendia. And it's Morgan Rogers again. Oh, it's brilliant. Morgan Rogers. He nearly scored in the first half, but now Buendia sets it up. And it's Freiburg 0, Villa 3. Freiburg 0, Villa 3. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Buendia's had a great game tonight, hasn't he? What a ball that is. Rogers runs across the front post, gets in front of his man. That's the cardinal sin from a defender's point of view. It's just really poor from the fullback there, but it's a great goal. Gets a touch on it, and Morgan Rogers makes it 3, and Villa are running away with this. There's only 30 minutes or so left, and Villa look like they've got this one sewn up in Istanbul. Bournemouth fans are already getting excited. Bournemouth fans, it's feeling very, very close to the Bernabeu now. Shocking defending. Yeah, it wasn't brilliant, was it? They definitely switched off there at the far post. I think it was the fullback. Was it Gunter? I'm surprised if it was. Gunter's the more experienced, the veteran of the Freiburg defence. I would have thought he would have maybe stayed switched on. Charles, question. Who is Aston Villa's top scorer ever? Ever? Oh, I don't know about ever. Couldn't tell you who the top scorer ever is. I think we did in the Premier League, didn't we? The Premier League's... Is it Ollie Watkins? Has Ollie Watkins took over now? It's either Ollie Watkins. It might even be Agbonlahor. I can't remember who it was. Julian Joachim was top 20. Dion Dublin was up there, I think. Dwight York might have been in the top 20. Freiburg. They've got to take some chances now, Freiburg. Got to compete at least. Far post. Oh, man, Zambi was there waiting to tap it in. Poor header. Peter with. Ben says, was that Rogers' missus with a pink hair? I don't think so, no. But she was very excited, wasn't she? Very excited. Pete, I'd watch Malmo v Celtic. We watched Arsenal all year. Can't be any worse than that. That's true. Rosenfelder and Holler coming on. Some attacking options for Freiburg to try and mix things up in the last 30. It's sad. It's very sad for Freiburg. Like I said, they've played all year. Got to this point. They're going to be heroes to some extent anyway because they've never won a top flight honour. To get to a European final is unprecedented for them, but it's sad to get to all this way to a final and you get your arse absolutely handed to you. And they have. There's no doubt about it. This has been all Villa tonight. This has been, again, as was being said earlier, this is kind of the gulfing class maybe between the Premier League and the Bundesliga. When we talk about teams a little bit lower down the Bundesliga, teams a little bit lower down the Premier League, it's not even close. You know, you can say Bayern Munich are comparable with Liverpool's and City's and Arsenal's. Yes, they are. But if you look a little bit further down the Bundesliga and you start looking at your Borussia Mönchengladbachs and your Freiburgs and your Hoffenheims and you put them up against a Villa, a Newcastle, honestly, a Bournemouth, I think they did get passed off the park. What's Buendia taking before this game? He's having a stormer, isn't he? The rumour is Klopp coming back on a 3-year deal. Nah! Listen, if Jurgen Klopp comes back, I'll immediately question it, because it doesn't make any sense at all. Doesn't make any sense, I'm sorry. This charming Dan Key, I'm hoping for the Liverpool win against Brentford. If you win and we can beat Chelsea, we'll get 8th, maybe 7th if Brighton fail to beat Man U. I don't think we'll do it, but it's fun to dream. 7th if Brighton beat Man U. Oh, Brighton fail to beat Man U. Hey, that is imminently possible, you know. Eminently possible, not imminently possible. Eminently possible. Heard it here first, Key. Listen, we've heard a lot of rumours. Apparently, Anfield Agenda's kind of staked his reputation on it, hasn't he? He said that Arne Slot's going. He's absolutely adamant that Arne Slot's going, and it's already been confirmed, and he's definitely going. If he doesn't go, he's going to look a little bit silly now. Declan, thoughts on Arsenal winning the league, mate? They deserve it. Yeah. I don't know what thoughts you're looking for. They deserve it. Team who wins the league over 38 games, always the best and always the team who deserves it, yeah. He's gone, pal. I don't think so, but hey, we'll see. We shall see. Who would you want if you got rid of Slot? I don't think there's any manager out there that I'm seriously like, I wouldn't be excited by anyone. There's nobody. I mean, do you know what? Honestly, Jurgen Klopp is probably the only one, because of the nostalgia, that you'd be like, oh, I'm a little bit excited by it. He's coming back. But also, I'd just have more questions than answers. I'd be like, you left because you were tired and now you're coming. I just think it'd be a bad idea. And honestly, there's no manager out there for me that is better for Liverpool right now than Arne Slot. Zero managers. Because all you're doing is starting it again. You're starting a whole new project again. It doesn't make any sense. Luis Enrique is not a manager for Liverpool. He's a very good manager. He might well be the best manager in Europe. But he's not a Liverpool manager. Iraola's a top-class manager. He is a top-class manager, but if he came to Liverpool, we'd have to sign half a squad to make it work for him. Because we don't have the one thing that Iraola needs. The one thing that Iraola's got lots of at Bournemouth. We have nothing of that in the Liverpool side. Would you take Ancelotti after the World Cup? Forget the Chelsea past? No. Again, listen, this is the one thing you've got to learn about Liverpool fans, right? It's about 30% credentials. 30%. This is the whole point of a manager. It's 30% credentials, maybe 40% credentials, 60-70% persona. 60-70% of being a Liverpool manager is about the personality. That's it. That's why they don't like Slot. It's nothing to do with his playing style. It's nothing to do with his credentials. It's nothing to do with the results. It's nothing to do with where we are in the table. Ignore all that. It's nothing to do with it. I'm telling you. And I'm saying this as a Liverpool fan. Our fans need a manager who is, one, uniquely theirs. Two, is a little bit charismatic in press conferences and things. And if you aren't charismatic, and if you say some stuff that's a bit daft, a bit silly, a bit blunt, then yeah, you get very little patience. Jurgen Klopp finished 5th and got all the patience in the world. Oh, they give him all the time in the world. Because he fist bumped the crowd, and he hugged the fans, and he hugged the players. And that's the kind of guy that he was. They give him all the time in the world. They won't do the same for Arne Slot. BCFC Benji, are you annoyed Alonso went to Chelsea? No, not at all. I didn't want Xabi Alonso. Didn't want Alonso at all. Ben, I don't get the Ancelotti hype. Maybe 20 years ago, but not now. So why have you asked them all, Key? No, it's just my opinion. It's my opinion. I don't think for Liverpool fans, really, the whole credentials thing matters a lot less than how they are as a manager. And that's, I think that's like a unique Liverpool thing. That's one of the things I would say about us as a football club. You couldn't hire an Ancelotti. Ancelotti is undoubtedly a fantastic manager. You couldn't hire him for Liverpool. Do you know why? Because he's been a Chelsea manager and he's been an Everton manager. So he's not uniquely ours. Same with Unai Emery. You couldn't appoint Unai Emery as a Liverpool manager. It wouldn't happen. I genuinely think as Unai Emery's a wonderful manager, and I would say he's a better manager than Slot. But I wouldn't want him as Liverpool manager because he's not ours. He's Villa's. He'll never be ours. He'll always be Villa's. Should have went the special one, Jose, then. See, yeah, Jose Mourinho is a Liverpool manager. Personality-wise, Jose Mourinho is a Liverpool manager. A Liverpool manager, personality-wise, is also Ruben Amorim. A little bit prickly, very good in press conferences, has got the credentials, not uniquely ours. That's why he wouldn't get the job. If he hadn't managed Man United, Ruben Amorim would be a Liverpool manager. Ryan, thoughts on Iraola to Everton? Iraola's not going Everton. Iraola's not leaving Bournemouth in Europe in the Champions League to go to Everton. And plus, they're not sacking David Moyes. David Moyes ain't going anywhere. Everton fans are having a whinge. I knew they'd turn on him. But no, he's not going anywhere, David Moyes. Well, he is. All right, Ryan, come back in the summer, lad. I guarantee you Andoni Iraola's not Everton manager. Nowhere near. Buzzy Muntu, as I have mentioned previously with Klopp, it was not solely about the media, or about the results, but also about the experience and emotions he evoked in us as fans. Yeah, I get that. I really do. But I think people revise a lot of what happened under Jurgen Klopp. People forget the bad times, and there were bad times under him. I remember us losing 6 home games in a row. I remember us losing, I think was it 12? Was it 9 in 12 under him as well? We had we had lots of bad runs under Jurgen Klopp. And like I said, we finished 5th under him 3 years ago. It was never always plain sailing. It's largely about persona and charisma. Buendia, edge of the box, strike over the bar. Unlucky. Moyes is going backroom staff. David Moyes is not going to be backroom staff for Iriola, lad. Behave yourself. Stephen Morton, Slot's had it difficult because of Salah. Wouldn't disagree with that, you know. And they turned Amorim down before Slot came. I think that was because they wanted Slot, though. Slot was a better candidate at the time, was seen as a better candidate than Ruben Amorim. Because he had overseen large-scale transitions at Feyenoord. Feyenoord had loads of players leave, and I think Liverpool's board knew that was going to happen with us. So it was like, we kind of need a wartime manager. We need someone who's come in and done the dirty work of, we're going to move a load of players out and bring a load of players in and just keep things ticking over. And they needed that manager. And Arne Slot, if I'm dead honest, I think that is exactly the job he was hired for. And I think that's exactly the job that he's doing. It was always going to be difficult. You can't move that many players out and that many players in and it just be, oh yeah, we'll just keep playing fantastic football. Doesn't work like that. Derek McInnes done a job for Hearts, doesn't mince around the press either, or even bring back Stevie G. Stevie G's going nowhere near that job. Jake Hartman, thanks sir, I couldn't remember if that was under Klopp. I know Liverpool fans were taking the piss out of United because we got thumped 6-1 by Spurs that day. Alfie, Arsenal are interested in Krupi. I don't know why, as we got Eze and Odegaard. Eze and Odegaard. Krupi is not that sort of a player. Krupi would be a replacement for Havertz or Jesus. So, but again, I don't see Arsenal getting Krupi either. Gary, a bad start for Liverpool next season, and you'll be saying, why didn't we replace him in the summer? Sorry, Key, this is going to bite you on the backside. No, it's really not, mate, right? Because I don't think that the reason Liverpool have been bad this year is the manager. And the reason I can prove that to you right now is if me and you agree how many players need to move, how many players you personally, I won't try and influence you. As a Liverpool fan, how many players do you think Liverpool need to move out this summer? And your answer will probably land somewhere around the 7 to 9 mark. And if 7 to 9 players are leaving, then you can't argue, you can't rationally argue it's the manager's fault. He should have got better than that. Well, you can't. How are you saying that and also saying 79 players should leave? It doesn't make any sense. Anfield Vortex, the truest test is yet to come for Slot in the next few months if he stays. Southampton's appeal against expulsion from the Championship playoffs has been dismissed. Has it really? Oh, well then there you go. That's it. Sorted. It's the playoff final goes ahead as we thought. It's going to be Hull and Southampton at Wembley on Saturday. The first game at the Matchday Tavern. If you've not already, go and subscribe. The link is in the comments. The link is in the comments. Go and subscribe to the Matchday Tavern if you've not already. Chris Morley, Southampton have lost their appeal. Just heard, mate. Crazy. I still think that was really harsh, you know. Anfield Vortex, what's the score key, please? It is Freiburg 0, Aston Villa 3, with 15 minutes left of the final. John, do you think if Slot gets sacked and Liverpool win the league, everyone will say it's Slot's squad? Well, yeah. This is the frustrating thing is there's a lot of Liverpool fans who want Arne Slot to go, but then they're happy to bring in a new manager. But the new manager will need a year, 2 years to get his own squad and build. We're going to have another transition year next year. If you hire a new manager, it's the worst way, the absolute worst way to deal with a transition is to make another unenforced change. We've got a manager that's working. He's got us into the top 4 at the very least. He's got us into our first Champions League quarter-final in 4 years. We got to an FA Cup quarter-final. We got beat by the winners of that. We got beat by the probably the Champions League winners as well. The league season has not been fantastic, but I think it's also fair to say we've had a... Oh, must be. Oh, so close to 4. Oh, Buendia nearly making it 4-0. Buendia's basically been Ronaldinho tonight. If he'd have put that away, that would man of the match secured for him. Red Rebellion Key, we're never going to sign 15 new players in one season, mate. Who said 15? Who's saying 15? Oh, the rebuild was never going to get done in one season. Oh, right, yes, see, I agree what you're saying. Yes, I think there was an acceptance that 15 probably needed to go, and we were never going to do that in one summer, so we've spread it out across 2. Yes, I agree. Alfie Key, when Villa win, does 6th place go to the Champions League next season? Only if Villa finish 5th in the league. Mr. Poultice, Key, what's your take on the new Champions League format? I still feel the group stages were more sophisticated in the sense that the competition felt elite. Now it just feels like a bunch of random games. I have to say I disagree. I quite like the new Champions League format, and the reason I think it's better is because all of the games matter. If you think back to the group stage, a lot of the final group stage games were dead rubbers, weren't they? In fact, I think there was a couple of years in the Champions League where match day 6, which was the final group stage game, right, in the Champions League, match day 6, I don't think there was any changes that could happen, apart from, like, maybe second finishing above first, but, like, third and fourth had both kind of definitely gone out. There was basically nothing riding on match day 6 in an entire Champions League season, and I was like, that's got to be bad for sponsors. It'll definitely be bad for viewing figures, but it's got to be bad for sponsors. Jamie got us into the top 4 and spent about 400 million after having a winning squad the season before. Yeah, but we didn't have a winning squad this season, did we? The squad changed, and that wasn't Slot's fault. The squad changed, and therefore the system had to change. Oh, there's Ollie Watkins. Excellent play. Driving into the box. Ollie Watkins. Going to be a corner to Villa. Rob, smaller groups is way better. The league phase means we basically have 4 dead weeks. 4 dead weeks, do you think? I don't think so. Sorry, sir, I'm confused. Is it Southampton v Hull or Borough v Hull? It's Borough v Hull now in the playoff final. Nathan begging Aston Villa finish 5th so Bournemouth get Champions League. Yeah, me too. I'd love it if City beat Villa and Liverpool beat Brentford, and then we've got Bournemouth in the Champions League. Strike! Ooh, unlucky. I think John McGinn there, nearly getting 4 for Villa. Liverpool will sign potentially 5 to 6 players in the window, but primarily we need a destroyer at CDM. It's a minimum, it's another 6 coming in. Shahid, this is good news for Bournemouth, isn't it, Key? Well, it's good news for whoever finishes 6th. Yes. If it's Bournemouth, if it's Brighton, I think there is a world where... Can Brentford still sneak in? I don't think they can they? No, it's either Bournemouth or Brighton. So if Bournemouth were to lose, Bournemouth only need a point against Nottingham Forest to secure 6th spot. If they were to lose, then Brighton can finish 6th if they beat Man United at the Amex. So honestly, it's looking like it's going to be Bournemouth, but Brighton can still sneak it. But the only way Bournemouth get Champions League football is if Villa finish 5th and they lose against Man City. I imagine if Villa... Listen, Pep Guardiola's going to want to see the Etihad off with a win, isn't he? So City will be trying their damnedest to say farewell to Pep Guardiola. You know, the end of an era. They'll be doing their best to win in that game. And Villa will be hungover. Villa will be partying for the next couple of days. They'll turn up, hanging out their arse on Sunday. So that's the final game of the season. There's nothing really riding on it for Aston Villa. And if they finish 5th, everybody in the Premier League will love him. So I think they'll probably go to Manchester City and lose. The question then is whether or not Liverpool beat Brentford. And if Liverpool do beat Brentford, then yeah, Bournemouth get Champions League football. Crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. A clockwork cherry. This result virtually gets us in the Champions League. Not quite. Not quite. It relies on 2 more results, doesn't it? It relies on Villa losing to City and Liverpool beating Brentford. The only way it works is if Villa finished 5th. If Villa finished 4th, 6th place doesn't get Champions League football. But I'm really rooting for you. A clockwork cherry. Really rooting for Bournemouth. As a Liverpool fan, I'd love to see Bournemouth in the Champions League. It'd be fantastic. Chris says there was only 1 year where there was something on the match day 6 for the Champions League group. All 4 teams. It was a weird one. Lewis, do you think Anderson's a United destination now Pepper's gone? I mean, I'd love him at Liverpool. I think he's a perfect option for us as well. So, I don't know. Maybe. I guess it... I don't know. I think it's going to be very interesting. Liverpool and Man United will be going for a lot of the same players this summer, though. And honestly, I think Liverpool would be a greater pull than Man United. Just because I think, even though there's potential sort of change with Arne Slot and whatever, I think the risk for players going to Manchester United is a lot higher than it is for going to Liverpool. If you were pitching, let's say you were a player's agent and you had an offer from Liverpool this summer and you had an offer from Man United this summer, let's say both were exactly the same in terms of wages. If I was your agent and I was advising you on which offer to take, I'd probably be saying, well, Man United haven't got a great track record with players coming in. When they bring players in, even very good players fail at Manchester United, and it ruins their careers. We've seen a lot of players go to United, and it's become an absolute hellhole for them. And, you know, they've then subsequently left United, gone elsewhere, and done really well. That hasn't happened at Liverpool. There's not really been any flops at Liverpool that have gone elsewhere and done really well in the last 10 years. Whereas in the last 10 years, you can name loads for United, absolutely loads, who haven't thrived at the club, gone elsewhere, and it hasn't quite worked out. Man United don't always know how to platform good players, the best players. And Michael Carrick, there's still uncertainty about him. There's a lot of United fans still unsure about Michael Carrick, same as there are with Liverpool and Arne Slot. So there's by no means certainty at Man United either. Creed says, I'm guessing you've had a few tasty DMs, Key, and not them kind of tasty DMs. We've had a few, yeah. Bezzy says, Villa shows how hard the Prem is. Freiburg would be relegated in the Prem. Not sure about relegated, but they've not had a great performance tonight. Jellyfish, Man United, a guaranteed starter in centre mid and Champions League. Yeah, but you get that at Liverpool though as well, don't you? Jellyfish, players love Man United and they know Cunha, Sesko and Burmo, Lamens, Dorgu. Mate, Dorgu's he's not getting minutes at Man United anymore under the new system. Dorgu's not a good example of that. Xerxes not a good example for that. Amad Diallo is probably one that might move on in the summer. I wouldn't be so sure. I wouldn't be so sure on it, mate. I really wouldn't. That's why Man United have started to buy players in the Premier League that are proven. Cunha and Burmo have been the difference at United this year. They have, yes. And maybe that's what happens again. Maybe they go big for Elliot Anderson. Maybe. The old ways, Mario Balotelli, great career after Liverpool, the journeyman. There's really not been many. Honestly, I can't think of too many players who didn't thrive at Liverpool but then went on to somewhere else and thrived. Whereas I can think of loads for United. Absolutely loads in the last 10 years. And even if you don't think of that, you've got to think of players who went to United with like a bucket load of talent and just hasn't worked out for them. You know, there's like players who undoubtedly had to, even, you know, Garnacho, Sancho's on the pitch right now. Rashford's one of their own, been forced out of the club in many ways. Scott McTominay, thriving elsewhere. Anthony was signed for massive money, fabulous elsewhere. Lots and lots of Højlund's doing well at Napoli. Loads of players like that at United. They would be the cautionary tales that you would maybe show to players and say, I don't know if that's a wise move, Man United. If they're paying you a lot of money, if they're paying you more than Liverpool, then maybe think about it. But I'm not sure they would get the swing, United, if there was an identical offer, Liverpool and Man United on the table for a player who had both to choose from. I honestly think they'd lean towards Liverpool. Matt Gilly, Sebastian Leto thrived when he left Liverpool. I tell you who did. The closest one was probably Paletta. Gabriel Paletta. He did well when he left Liverpool. He was Argentinian when he was at Liverpool. He left and he became Italian. Ended up playing for the Italian national side. This charming Dan says Amad Diallo should move to Sunderland. He was adored here when he was on loan. He still really loves the club. Can't see it happening, but again, it's fun to dream. They're going to start forcing Amad Diallo out, you know. 40 million quid they paid for him. And I think there's a market for him. If they're sensible, I do think there's a world where Amad Diallo probably goes. Christian Nemeth did well in the US. That's true enough. JW Wrestling News. Do you think Southampton deserves the punishment? No. Vampy, do you think more transfers will happen before or after the World Cup? I think there'll be transfers happening before, during and after. I don't know if there'll be more before or after, but there'll be transfers going all the way through. Agents will be at the World Cup, you know, knocking on dressing room doors, signing contracts. It'll all be happening there. Bernardo Silva is leaving Manchester City. He said he wants his future sewn up before the World Cup. Mo Salah, I think that was the whole reason he put the statement out, was because he wants his future sewn up before the World Cup, and I really do think he'll be pushing to get that done. Hey, Luke the Marine Biologist, how you going, sir? 88 minutes on the clock. If you've not yet, do me a favour, please go and follow the Matchday Tavern on YouTube. All of our watch-alongs are going to be over there from Saturday this week. From Saturday, the Championship Playoff Final, they're all going to be over on the Matchday Tavern. You can find the link to it in the chat. You don't need to go and search it, but if you want to, you can just search it in the channel, in the search bar on YouTube. The Matchday Tavern with Key Thomas, you'll find it. And you can go and watch all of our watch-alongs are going to be over there from Saturday. So starting with the Playoff Final on Saturday, Hull versus Middlesbrough. What a game that's going to be now. It's got a lot riding on it. Especially now, there's lawyers eyeing it up and going, oh my God, Hull wanted to pull out of it. Southampton might be suing the EFL, they might be suing Middlesbrough, they might be suing Hull, I don't know what's going on. But there's a lot of noise around that one. Key Hearts might be winning the league still. Nah, that's not happening. That's not happening. Liam, this guy chatted absolute bollocks for 9 months. Well, some would say even longer. Questionable if it's only 9 months. Julius Key, will there be no lives on here anymore? No. Short term, no. For the next few months, for the World Cup at least, and obviously all of the games before the World Cup. So the playoff final, the League One playoff final, the final day of the Premier League, the Europa Conference League final with Palace and Rayo, the Champions League final, of course, with Arsenal. that is all going to be over on the Matchday Tavern. So if you want to watch along with us, you're going to need to head over there and subscribe. There's going to be posts over the next few days to remind you again on Premier League Dad, but nothing else. There's no more content on Premier League Dad for the next few months at least. Cheers the old ways. Thank you very much. That's some picture of yourself on the thumbnail. It's the same one as we've got on Premier League Dad. Hey, Kirsty, how's it going? Matt, needless to say, I had the last laugh. You end almost every anecdote with, needless to say, I had the last laugh. Lewis, have you heard of Lee Gunner Arsenal channel? I have heard of him, but don't watch him. And that's no dig at him. I don't really watch many other content creators, usually because they're on at the same time I am. So it's no dig. I just don't watch him. Cheers, Graham, subscribed, love that. JR, worst bloke on TikTok. I'll take that. Let's put that in the bio. Worst bloke on TikTok, says JR. I hope that's your son in your profile picture, JR. Not just, you're not just taking pictures with random kids, mate. The old way says, sorry, meant on the video. This charming Dan Key, this guy chatted bollocks for 9 months. Sounds like you've got a tagline. That's it. I'm trying my best. I'm really trying to find one. But look at that. Villa. Oh, come on. Unai Emery's got his fifth Europa League. Emiliano Martinez in tears. Prince William in tears. Knighthoods all round. You get a knighthood. You get a knighthood. You get a knighthood. Congratulations to Villa. Yeah, absolutely fantastic for Aston Villa. We'll stay. Should we stay for the trophy lift? Nah. But it's a great win. 3-0. They've absolutely breezed it. Buendia, star of the show. You've got to give man of the match to Buendia there, haven't you? Haz says 6th place got Champions League. Not yet, Haz. No. 6th place doesn't get Champions League. Not yet. Not yet. There's still some more things that need to happen on Premier League's final day in order for that to happen. Bournemouth only get Champions League football if Villa lose to City and Liverpool beat Brentford. They are the only things that need to happen. Luke the Marine Biologist. The more you get to watch, Key, the more you realise how great and authentic the watch-alongs are. Christ, that's from a United fan. I can't believe it's costing me nothing. Really costing me nothing. I'm trying to bribe these guys to put these comments in. I promise you that's not me on a dodgy account. Buendia's got to be man of the match. Yes, Buendia I think was terrific there. Ethan, how's it going, mate? Ryan, or if Bournemouth win and Liverpool lose? No, that doesn't make a difference. If Bournemouth win and Liverpool lose, Liverpool still finish 5th. Bournemouth still finish 6th. Yeah, nothing changes. That means that Villa finish 4th and 6th place doesn't get Champions League football at all. So, yeah, the only way that Champions League football goes to 6th is if Villa lose to City and Liverpool beat Brentford. That's the only way. That is the only way. Joe, Key, do you need a hand on TikTok, lad? Getting a bit out of hand. Nah, I mean, well, as far as it's all right. Like, I to be honest, mate, I don't really know how to mod people up in there, but I can try. Yeah, I have no problem chucking you on as mod over there as well. Bryce says we all see you messaging secretly on your burner phone. Which one? I've got two. I've got 2 burner phones. Look at them. Double burner phones. One is actually for like league tables and other stuff, and then one's for TikTok. I'm probably going to need to use that one for Instagram because I'm going live on Instagram as of tomorrow. Look at that. Not tomorrow, Saturday. Look at that. They're engraving Villa's name there on the trophy. 2026 Europa League winners, Aston Villa. Hiller says 5 wins in 6 Europa League finals, only lost to Chelsea in 2019. And Gary says, will Hull withdraw? They have stated they might. I think they're keeping an option. They might, they're exploring it. Key, don't forget my payment for today, mate. I'll sort it. I'll sort it after the game, mate. Matt, I'll be on Insta, back as Watership Alan. Do you know what? I didn't know that was you, Matt. I didn't know that was you. Anfield Agenda said Slot sacked, but I can't see it on the Beeb. True or no? No, it's not true, mate. It's not true, Joe. Absolutely no chance. Great stream as always, Key. Best watch-along channel around. I'm sure the new channel will be exactly the same. Well, it's going to be the same content, the same overlay, the same everything. It's just not going to have 23,000 subscribers. We're starting afresh. We're starting brand new. So come over and help me build it again. We're building back better. Oh, that sounds grim. Anyway, right. If you've not already, please do me a favour. Go and hit subscribe over on the new channel, the Matchday Tavern. The link is in the comments, in the pinned comment in the chat. The Matchday Tavern on YouTube. Go and like it. Go and subscribe. There will be a live scheduled for the playoff final. Middlesbrough against Hull. Playoff final. A very, very controversial one. But we'll be live for that on Saturday, 4:30. Hopefully you'll join me for it. And yeah, lots of love, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. I'll catch you all on Saturday. Take it easy. Have a nice night. Ta-da.